Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health risk for February 5th, 2026. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com, and we maintain a storefront on Amazon. Amazon purchases made through our Patient Weather storefront support the activities of Patient Weather. Looking at the surface map for the 5th, you can see it's high pressure dominant coast to coast. There is that one massive low up here in basically eastern Canada above the lakes, and it will keep some unsettled weather, some snow across the Michigan Upper Peninsula and across the state of Michigan itself. Otherwise, cold air will be flowing again into the east. Looking at our vitality index, which is a composite of all of the weather elements that might do and have an impact on human health, we have a minor area of activity up here in the Pacific Northwest, a really significant center of activity going on here from the Central Plains across the Mississippi Valley to the Great Lakes. We have some activity going on down here in the Southeast and a little bit of something going on here in northern New England. Looking at pressure change, falling pressure is the rule of the day. We have some falling pressure and not too significant here across the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, but more significant falling pressure here, especially in the heartland, all the way from Oklahoma up to eastern Dakotas, Arkansas, up through the Minnesota and across the Great Lakes, with the most significance here from Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Michigan. Notice it extends over to the east into Pennsylvania, Virginia, but not quite as significant. Looking at temperature change, we have some cold air infusion again here in the east, and notice all the way down to Florida, but there is the saving grace, a little bit of warming temperatures, and that is extending from Oklahoma into South Dakota, all the way in up from Arkansas through Minnesota and across the Great Lakes. So there's at least some hope for a minor warm-up, and this will of course bring some risk of migraine with temperatures increasing by over 10 degrees. Looking at the change in dew points, we have very much the same issue. We have a lot of moisture moving on up into the heartland, a lot of moisture finally diminishing or pulling away from the southeast. Vapor pressure shows very much the same thing, but not quite the extent. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, you can see we do have a risk of migraine, very shallow here on the coastal areas of Southern California. A more significant area of migraine risk along the Gulf, right the very coast, picking up the toe of Louisiana, just cutting across Mobile and then turning inland, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida, with that most significant here through central Georgia and across South Carolina. Note we do have a risk of migraine here again in the northernmost reaches of New England, again northern Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, but very significant across those Canadian cities. Looking at asthma and arthritis, we're back in the heartland with a significant risk of asthma and arthritis from Oklahoma clear on up into the Dakotas, but very significant here in Nebraska, again back from Arkansas up to Minnesota, and very significant in Minnesota, Wisconsin, over to Michigan. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're